Step number 4 in the home selling process is the inspections get completed. Now, in almost every transaction, the buyer will be doing some type of inspections unless we've actually provided them up front and they don't feel like they need any additional inspections. But if that's not the case, the inspector is going to come to the property to inspect the house from top to bottom and everywhere in between. They're going to look at the foundation, the roof, the electrical, the plumbing, as well as cosmetic things, and just trying to get an overall sense of what the condition of the property is. And if there's something that might require some additional evaluation, like let's say the foundation, they might make a recommendation for a specialist, like a foundation specialist, to come in and take a look at a specific item that they think might need a second set of eyes. This all happens during the inspection contingency period. So if the buyer is doing inspections, we will work with you and the inspector to coordinate a day and time that works well. Now, usually for the inspections, this is not something that we recommend that you be around for, simply because this really should be a time for the buyer and the inspector and their agent to speak with each other about the property, any issues that they've identified, make future plans for the property, and just kind of have their own time with the property without the seller being there. And so we will work to find a day and time that works well for you, where you can maybe be gone from anywhere from 2 to 4 hours so that they have the time to do the inspection, talk it over before they send the report out to all the various parties. And as I mentioned, it is possible where there might be a secondary set of inspections that need to be done based on the findings. So just please keep that in mind and be prepared that that might be something that needs to be done as well. It is also very common for a buyer to have a pest inspection done on the property. Again, if it's something that we have not provided up front, the pest inspector will be looking for termites and other wood-related issues around the property. So again, please also keep this in mind that we'll need to get that scheduled as well. Lastly, it is important for us to be prepared that if the inspection happens to uncover any items, it is possible that a buyer make a request for repairs. Now, we'll go over this in a little bit more detail during the renegotiation phase, but this is very, very common that if some items are uncovered during the inspection, that a buyer makes a request for us to repair those. And this usually happens in one of 3 ways. One, they will actually make a request for those repairs, in which case we would hire somebody to come make those repairs. Then they would sign off on those repairs and then we would move on. The second option would be that they make a request for a credit for those repairs, meaning that if it looks like there's $3,000 worth of work that needs to be done, that they will request a credit for that $3,000 at closing costs. And then the last option is they may ask to renegotiate the purchase price. Now, in the state of California, all homes are sold as is, so it is all a negotiation at that point. We do try to push for option number 2 as often as we can, where it's just a credit for those repairs, because we don't want to hire somebody that they find when they go to sign off on it that the buyer's just not happy with the repair work that's done, and we've got to go back and forth with them. So the easiest and cleanest way to do this is that we do a credit for those repairs, and that's usually the option that we push for if we feel that their request is fair and valid. I will do everything in my power to negotiate on your behalf if a buyer makes a request for repairs, to make sure that we keep everything on track and moving towards the sale of your home. This is step number 4 in the home selling process.